Good morning. I am Jack Van Ryn, Mayor of the Town of Coaldale. I will be giving you an update from our regular council meeting that was held Monday, April 25th, 2022. And at the beginning of the meeting, we discussed the way that motions are made and the fact that we were recording who voted for and who voted against a particular motion. And we had those names listed in the minutes. So to match what Municipal Affairs is asking us to do, motions will be voted on. A majority of votes will determine carried or defeated. There will be no recording of names in the minutes of who voted in favor or against unless prior to the vote being called, a council member requests the vote to be recorded. So again, historically, for every motion, we always had it listed who voted in favor or against in a particular motion that came up. And through a municipal accountability program review that the town of Coaldale is currently undertaking, that was noted that we had to change that now. So that was brought up at last night's meeting. And so again, unless a member of council asks that the vote be recorded at the beginning of the discussion, there will be no names attributed to it anymore. With that being said, if you go to the live stream video, you will be able to see the video from the council meeting. That obviously you'll be able to see who voted for or against any motion. And then first thing that we had was a delegation from the Chinook Arch Library. Robin Heffer, the CEO, presented to Town Council and gave us an update with what's going on with their programming, and they're also involved with our local library. And it's an excellent program, and Robin did a great job with presenting. And there's good things happening at our Coaldale Library, so make sure that you go visit and get a membership. Then we had a public hearing at 5:30. It was regarding a area structure plan bylaw 844-P-03-22 for the West Industrial Area Structure Plan. And Coaldale is currently looking at expanding its industrial park to the west. We have some parcels of land that are privately owned, and we have a private group of investors that are going to develop a part of that. And there's 6 landowners in total. So we wanted to pass our area structure plan last night, but we found out that there is one landowner that has 2 people that own it on the very south portion of the proposed area structure plan that had some issues with the plan. And after much discussion, we tabled the motion to pass the area structure plan until a meeting in May, because we are going to remove that little parcel of land and carry on with the project. And if they want to revisit joining in at a later date, then that's something that we can look at. So we tabled that discussion until an upcoming meeting where we will revamp the area structure plan to remove that most southerly parcel of land. And then as part of that, we had to do some rezoning, and the rezoning for the West Industrial Structure Plan was to rezone some to industry, light industry, and also highway commercial, or C2, and we tabled that as well because we have to wait until we get the amended area structure plan in place for that. So that was finalized. And then we had a borrowing bylaw that was brought up, and our CFO, Kyle Beauchamp, brought up a previous bylaw that was passed by the previous council for a line of credit for $4 million for the town of Coaldale. Coaldale is in a very good position cash-wise, but our CFO wanted to see if there was any appetite to have this $4 million line of credit. Historically, this was passed by the previous council, but in the bylaw itself, there was a mistake made, so it had to come back to get passed one more time. And new council decided that they didn't feel that we needed this at this time. So by a vote of 4-3, we passed first reading, second reading, and then to carry on for passing a bylaw, we need to have unanimous consent before we can go to the third and final reading. And that didn't happen. We had 3 members of council vote against it. So the bylaw was defeated. Then we had a land use bylaw that we had to do first reading on. And this is to do with a parcel of land on 18th Avenue, just on the west end of ITB, a privately owned business referred to as South Country Power. And the northeast industrial area, where a historic rezoning stemming from 2002 resulted in the current zoning as it exists today, commercial C1. Following a change in ownership, the subject property now operates in a manner intended for the initial zoning of industry-I. Given the area is primarily zoned for industry, the applicant proposes to rezone the property to provide consistency and allow for current and future landowners to utilize the lot in a manner suitable for industrial use. So first reading was passed, and that'll be coming back on May 24th for a public hearing to see if they're going to be able to proceed with that. Then we had a presentation by our town planner, Melanie Messier, regarding a parcel of land on Main Street that was donated by the Yip family. And anybody that has long-term connections to Coaldale, there used to be a cafe referred to as the Club Cafe that used to be on Main Street, and that is located just west of where the old Westland Insurance building is, and where the current new Civic Square building is being built. So there's an empty lot that was there forever. So the family, the Yip family, wanted to donate that to the town of Coaldale, which they did. And basically we had to do some paperwork that the town of Coaldale agrees to not to sell the lands to a third party and will own and maintain said lands as a memorial green strip that will be rezoned to municipal reserve to reflect this purpose. So it's going to be part of the new Civic Square project, where there's going to be a little green strip that goes between the buildings that'll take you into the back area, where the town is proposing some unique ideas for an outdoor plaza back there. So that passed last night, and so that's very exciting, and thank you very much to the Yip family for doing that very generous donation to the town of Coaldale. Then we had our presentation regarding our Coaldale communications and engagement strategy. We had Jan Enns join our meeting via Zoom to discuss our new communication strategy that's quite important to this council. And there's 4 pillars as part of that. And the first one is to support and encourage meaningful two-way engagement with our community. Goal 2 is to build and strengthen trusted relationships with our community and our partners. And goal 3 is to build and strengthen trusted relationships with our local media. And 4, monitor, measure, and adjust our communications for continuous improvement. So it was quite an in-depth plan that we came up with. And council as a whole did a course with Jan to outline our specific needs. And for myself and every member of council, it's all about communication with our residents. And this new program, that's I'll have the link for it in the comment section, and I'll also mention it in my Facebook page. I encourage you to give it a read. It's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to us moving forward with this. Then we had a presentation by our CFO, Kyle Beauchamp, again, regarding the upcoming tax for both residential and non-residential. He did an information piece for us to explain how we are comparable to municipalities in our area and just outside of our local area. And one thing that came out of that discussion last night is that currently the town of Coaldale, our residential tax is 8.6% less than the city of Lethbridge. And on the non-residential, in other words, our commercial core, we're as much as 50% less than the city of Lethbridge. So at an upcoming meeting, our CFO is going to be coming up with some recommendations before we set the mill rate for our upcoming tax that we're going to be sending out in June. Then Kyle, also our CFO, we had to update our signing authority. It hasn't been updated since October 25th, 2021. And basically, it was just a minor housekeeping exercise. And the following council authorized the following people to have signing authority for the town of Coaldale. And that would be myself, Kaylin Hastings, our Chief Administrative Officer, Kyle Beauchamp, our Chief Financial Officer and Deputy CAO, and Kevin McEwen, he's our Director of Protective Services and also a Deputy CAO. So we changed the signing authority for those new individuals. Then we had a presentation regarding a free pantry structure, and Melanie Messier, our planner, along with representatives of FCSS and the Youth Do Crew, presented to council regarding a little free pantry. And that is a give and take resource designed for neighbors to help neighbors in need of food and hygiene items. It is not intended to replace our emergency food services such as the food bank, but rather to strengthen the food system and serve as a safety net for those who may fall through the cracks. By promoting the pantry and encouraging community members to give what they can and take what they need, the Youth Do Crew aims to promote food security and community building within the town of Coaldale. This program is currently in place in the town of Raymond, and they have 3 of these pantries, and they've had it's been very successful for them. So council agreed to approve that administration move forward with issuing a development permit for the free pantry structure and waive development permit and operational fees for the installations. And the town of Coaldale will work with the group as well to get this pantry installed. And it will be monitored by volunteers from the Youth Do Crew and also the FCSS that's located in the hub. And this pantry will be located just outside of the hub, so they'll have people looking after it. Personally, I had some questions about, are we going to have trouble with vandalism? Are we going to have trouble with abuse? And based on the programs in Raymond, those concerns of mine, they explain that that's not happening. And so I'm excited that we're going to have this new initiative in Coaldale. And then our CFO presented on behalf of his accounting team that the town of Coaldale has received the Canadian Award for Financial Reporting, awarded by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada for our 2020 annual financial report. This marks the 3rd consecutive year that the town of Coaldale has received this prestigious award. So congratulations to Kyle and team, and we were very excited, and we could definitely tell that Kyle was very proud of this award, so good job. Then we had some information items. We had a report to the community from Green Acres Foundation to give us an update, and then we also, for information, we had our completed Town of Coaldale strategic plan that council's been working on. And that is done now and it's implemented. And again, I'll have it in the comment section where you can look through the document. And there's some really great information. And this document is a result of a survey that we worked with our residents. We had almost 500 people comment on questions. And basically the strat plan has to do with 6 pillars, and that is public safety, service excellence, relationships, recreation, community growth and economic prosperity, and community experience. And that's going to be our strat planning until 2025. And that was the end of the open session. And again, I encourage you to please share this video on your own personal Facebook pages, comment. I appreciate if you like it because, you know, it takes a little bit of work to put this together, and it's just a snapshot of our council meeting last night. It was almost 3.5 hour meeting. So here in 16 minutes, you get a snippet of what was all discussed last night. So, and if you have any questions, my phone number will be listed at the end of the video, my email, and you can email me anytime. And if you see me on the street, please stop me and we'll have a discussion. Otherwise, I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.